All right, I am now here with Ashley Elzinga. She is with the
Foodservice Packaging Institute.
Yes, absolutely. And we are here at the Bellagio still. And Ashley's actually going to be doing a panel tomorrow, I believe. And I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about that. But first, starting off, can you tell me a bit about yourself, your background, and what led you to your current role?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ashley Elzinga with the Foodservice Packaging Institute, otherwise known as FPI. I am the Director of Sustainability and Outreach for FPI, so a lot of my day-to-day work is working on the recovery, like recycling and composting of food service packaging, but I do touch a lot of like our reports, touch a little bit on policy, I do work with our members a lot as well, engaging, making sure we are providing value for them. And so I've been in the food service packaging industry now for, I think this is like my 10th year. I started at a company called Dark Container, and so started there my food service packaging journey, and then was able to transition to a role as a industry representative at the trade association.
I love it. Well, Food on Demand is obviously a conference all about off-premises, delivery, pickup technology, and packaging is clearly, always going to be a part of that conversation. Mm-hmm. So when we think about the space and when you work with operators, what are you hearing lately? What's kind of top of mind when it comes to packaging, concerns, challenges, or what they're looking at?
Yeah, so there is a lot going on in the packaging space, right? There's a lot of demands on packaging right now, right? You want it to obviously perform first and foremost, and then you want it to look good. You want it to make your food look good. You want it to arrive safe and secure. If you want to keep hot things hot, cold things cold, but also, we see consumers, they're also wanting to see the recyclability, the environmental attributes, right? Recyclability, compostability, having a recycled content. Could you possibly reuse that package again? I know personally, if I get some packages, I do, save them and send them off with my husband to work, right? So if they get lost, I'm not heartbroken about it. So, but all of that seems to be overshadowed by this legislation that we're seeing in a lot of states. Yeah, EPR, extended producer responsibility, is a big topic right now, and it is really dominating a lot of the conversations that we're having.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about this. I personally am very interested in the sustainability aspect, and what ways can we make this more green and sustainable? Because packaging can be very wasteful, obviously, with delivery and everything like that. So, what are you seeing as far as some innovation in that area? You talked about reusable. I've seen some programs out there that some delivery partnerships are kind of eyeing when it comes to more reusable ways to use packaging. Anything you're seeing on that front?
Yeah, definitely reuse is starting to get a lot of attention in the food service packaging space. I think it'll be interesting to see over the next few years how scalable those are, because right now they're very in small, really dense urban areas, right? And the US specifically isn't super urban, it's more suburban dominated. So we're spread out a lot more, we just have a lot more space where, those types of programs do tend to work a little bit better like in Europe and stuff, because they do have that density. So, but I'm excited about that. It'll be really interesting to see where that goes. But, also reuse a lot of the time, like I was saying, is, if you get a container that might have traditionally just said, okay, well, throw it away or recycle it, but people have more of a mindset shift, because now they're kind of hanging on to it. I kind of equate it to remember my grandma, she would always save the Cool Whip containers, and then you're what's actually in this Cool Whip container? Yes. So I think we're seeing a resurgence of the reuse mindset that way as well.
Yeah, and you touched on compostable and things like that. Are you seeing that being more adapted? Personally, when I think about Gen Z and younger generation, they do care more about how your food is made, where it comes from, if you're sustainable in your practices. Mm-hmm. So are you seeing brands start to kind of switch over to that more often?
Yeah, I do see them. I guess it depends on your brand, right? If you want to be seen as sustainable and more eco-conscious, you will see, brands switching their packaging to more of a molded fiber that, is certified compostable, or you can recycle it. So you do see that, but it ultimately comes down to cost, right? Is it cost effective for your business? And those packages that, do have those recyclability and compostability attributes tend to cost a little bit more.
Right, and that really is what it comes down to, is the cost and the return on that cost. And kind of with the unsure world we're in right now with tariffs and everything going on, I'm sure that's another conversation that restaurant brands are having about where they supply their packaging from and so forth.
Yes, yeah, and so FPI, we're a North American facing trade association, and so a lot of our members, they manufacture domestically here in the U.S. and Canada, because we're Canada facing as well, and so that is an advantage to them for some, and some it's not in some ways. So yeah, inflation though is a big thing, right? Because it's not, the operator, it's not just the cost of the packaging. They're dealing with minimum wage law requirements increasing. They're dealing with staffing issues. They're dealing with all these other pressures, and a lot of times, packaging is a smaller portion of that.
Right. And I caught your panel you did last year when you moderated a packaging panel, and some of the panelists had some unique ways they're using branding with their packaging and using it in a marketing ploy. What are you seeing with that lately?
Yeah, so actually I'm going to be talking about that on my little talk tomorrow.
Perfect.
A lot of it has to do with branding, especially in the delivery space, because a lot of the times that's the only interaction a restaurant or a brand will have with the customer, right? And so making sure that your food is safe, it's secure, it doesn't leak, it doesn't spill, and it's, it is as close to as possible from the restaurant as it can be and still be an enjoyable experience. Almost like a unboxing experience is like the ultimate goal.
Yeah, definitely a lot to explore, and I'm excited for anyone catching your panel tomorrow to dive all into that. What are you looking forward to in this space? Anything you hope to see in the next few years, or anything innovative that you're eyeing?
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of new materials, total packaging nerd, right? So materials, right? We're seeing a lot of new and different types of plant fibers. So it's not just like the traditional tree pulp, right? You're seeing hemp. Sugarcane's been around for a while, but you're also, you're seeing these new types of fibers being used, which is exciting. We're seeing new types of resins, like compostable resins coming on, and just like also the shape of so we do a packaging awards as well, and so sometimes the unique shapes of the package is really cool. Like one time it was like a burrito. It was like a little roll-up burrito container. It was the cool. It was like just like a roll. I don't know. It was super interesting. I still obviously talk about it a few years later because it was just totally innovative. So I'm excited to see all of that. So.
Yeah, I talked to an operator who was using, did you say sugar cane?
Yes.
Yeah, sugar cane for their, repurposed packaging.
Yep.
And they say it works really well for their products.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So the new fibers are super, super exciting.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add in general about, connecting at in-person events like this? You're obviously a speaker for the second year, but also just, the beauty in meeting in person and connecting at these events.
Yeah, I always enjoy and I love coming to in-person events because you get to interact with people that you probably wouldn't interact with on your day-to-day. And it's usually just, casual conversations, walking up to a table and saying, hey, nice to meet you. So interacting with people that you normally wouldn't interact with is super exciting. And then a lot of times too, you go down rabbit holes that you wouldn't normally, you wouldn't wander to. So you get to, kind of talk about new ideas in a different way, and having those conversations can really spark a lot of bold change.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first, so I encourage anyone to, obviously I'm biased, but attend shows, connect with peers whenever you can. Anything else you'd like to add in general that you're looking forward to, whether it's at your role or, anything coming up?
No, I'm a packaging nerd, so like I said, I see a lot of fun things, a lot of innovative things, but I just want to thank you for having me, and I'm excited to speak tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.